hosting 6,000 kids on school day this morning in a 10:30 start inside the dome. Dyaisha Hyman, bigly outsized, loses the tip to begin the game, and the Great Danes in their purple will start off right to left. Starting lineup for UAlbany looks like this. Phillips, Heaps, Haney, DeCortez, and Heigerstrand in there for UAlbany. Dyaisha Hyman with the basketball for the Cuse. Rims out. Hyman coming off back-to-back single-digit performances for the second time since last season. That's just the first time since last year when she had a 4- and 5-point performance in Bahamas last November.
Dyaisha Fair has been shouldering the load for that Syracuse offense, but they do need to get the other half of that dynamic backcourt, Hyman, going as they go into ACC play. Syracuse starting this one off in player-to-player defense, which they do to start most games.
Down low, Heigerstrand can't miss. She gets her own rebound and she'll head to the line. Heigerstrand, preseason America East selections team that loves to run in winning the rebounding battle. 1-for-2 trip for Heigerstrand, but another offensive rebound by UAlbany. Orange sticking with a similar starting lineup today. Fair, Hyman, Woolley, Lewis, and Rice. Orange, though, still 0 to begin the game, 1 minute in. Haney to the basket. Runner rims out. Rebound fought for on the same team. And Dariauna Lewis, one of the top rebounders in the ACC, pulls down the board for the Orange.
Lewis still averaging a double-double this season.
Dyaisha Fair off the mark, and there's a rebound for the Great Danes. Second in the country behind Central Florida a season ago in points per game, allowing opponents under 50. Heigerstrand going to the basket, no good. And here's Dyaisha Fair. She wants to push the pace through 3 Albany defenders. Gets the lefty floater to drop.
She sends all the kids here in the dome into a frenzy. Maybe the early start has something to do with that, although both coaches did tell us that they do practice early in the morning somewhat often, so they should be ready for this.
Kayla Cooper to the basket. That's a tough take with the left hand.
Cooper was their leading rebounder last year, a key to that run to the America East title, but has only been practicing for about a week so far this year.
There, step back 3, rims out, and here's Phillips. Odd women break if she wants it. Heaps, kicks it. Hurts, sticks it.
UAlbany is showing well on those on-ball screens, forcing Syracuse into tough shots, but Woolley gets one.
Georgia Woolley.
Syracuse can utilize when they can get her open for them.
Here's Dyaisha Hyman, knife with the basket. 5 to shoot for McEvans. She pulls up. Long.
Syracuse an extra possession.
Dyaisha Fair. Tough take. She got it. DeCortez stripped, fight for the ball, and Lewis is on the ground. McEvans looking to get the ball down low. Into traffic, but there's Asia Strong to get it. Extra feed Lewis, and her layup banks in.
There's 20 blocks on the season for Lewis, a significant mark there. UAlbany, on the other hand, only has 28 as a team this season.
Haney pulls from 3 and connects.
Haney getting going, getting the start in this one, and has been a little bit limited so far this season, coming off another knee injury, but moving pretty well so far.
Just her 3rd game of the season, now 4 for 6 from deep on the year. Dyaisha Hyman trying to drive baseline. She does for 2. UAlbany adding some size now into this lineup. Trying to counter the combination of Strong and Lewis. Shot at the shot clock, buzzer go. Looks to the basket, pulls up. Back iron. And UAlbany has a rebound. Danes impressive on the glass so far. Now with 9 rebounds compared to SU's 6.
That was another thing Coach Mullen talked about, was not allowing those weak side offensive rebounds and allowing Syracuse to get extra possessions. So far, so good on that front for the Great Danes.
McEvans into the passing lane. Easy finish. 20 turnovers for the Great Danes against the number 3 team in the nation. UAlbany only trailed by 3 at the half in that game, but turnovers in the second half really did them in. Something that Coach Mullen wanted to avoid today. Answer on the offensive end. Cooper finishes at the rim.
UAlbany does have 3 players with more than 20 assists, but 4 with more than 20 turnovers, so it has been an issue.
10 to shoot for UAlbany. De Cortez to the basket, blocked away. Here comes the Cuse in transition. Hyman to the basket. Strong layup won't go. McEvan's follow won't either. And the Danes pick up the rebound.
Both these defenses continue to impress there as Syracuse was able to recover after a nice pass by Phillips down low on the previous UAlbany possession, but it seems like there's a lid on the rim on the other side for the Orange.
UAlbany can hold for the last shot and take a lead into the end of the first quarter, and they'll do just that. Vert for three. UAlbany up by 2 after 10 minutes. Danes doing what they wanted to do, stopping the Orange defensively and rebounding the basketball.
They've made this into their game, a bit of a defensive struggle here. I don't think the kids mind, but the Orange need to get the offense moving a little more fluidly and getting out in transition here in the second quarter.
Georgia Woolley, tough take to the basket with the left hand. Fatima Lee into the game for the first time for UAlbany. Now all 10 of their players active today for the Danes have seen minutes in just the first 11 minutes of this contest.
And getting players back healthy has been a key for them as they stick the three there. Lee. Syracuse sticking with both Strong and Lewis in the front court.
A big lineup. Lewis trying to play bully ball, and she does a little bit too much. And Lee, who is struggling through that defensive possession. This place gets really loud for this Great Danes possession. UAlbany trying to play inside to out. Cooper down low. Turnaround jumper. Friendly roll. 6 different starting lineup combinations now in 14 games. Still not healthy. 3 players out with injury today. Elena Reich is in the game, and she gets on the scoreboard. Danes trying to extend their lead. De Cortez blocked away by Lewis.
Syracuse still looking for something offensively.
SU offense still really hasn't found a rhythm. Fair trying to change that. And she'll head to the line.
Shooter 82% on the season, and that number's gone up with her performance against Wake Forest as well.
6th in the ACC shooting free throws. Trying to tie this game up. She does. Let's see if UAlbany wants to push in transition. Haney thought about it. It'll slow things down. Hurt working on Strong. Tough take to the basket, plus one more.
Asia Strong shuffled and got position, but Dariauna Lewis came over to help.
Didn't shoot a single free throw in the loss to Ohio State last week. Fair. Oh, is she dangerous off the bounce? Gets the basket. Fall away short.
And they continue to have a player show on the help side when needed against Dyaisha Fair, and that was another tough shot from Fair.
Hurt feeling it. Can't get this 3 to drop. But an offensive rebound by the Great Danes. And more opportunity to drain that clock and play at the UAlbany pace.
They follow that one. Coach Begechak not happy with Syracuse not getting the defensive rebound, and UAlbany makes the second chance count there. Vert again.
Vert first in double figures. Syracuse hasn't scored in 3 minutes, and now they have. Dyaisha Fair finally adds water to the drought.
And play at their own pace, and the other team does not want to do it in both cases.
Cooper thought about passing. A team philosophy led by Coach Mullen to play for each other, a player-driven philosophy. Most outstanding player in the America East Conference tournament last season. Drills both free throws. 3 to shoot. Heaps needs to heave it. Doesn't get it to drop, but Heigerstrand on the rebound. Tough putback, no good. And here's the Cuse on the break. Dyaisha Fair has 1 speed. That's fast. And 1.
And Fair going at the rim yet again and getting another and 1 for the Orange and getting the kids excited here in the building. Syracuse does it best going in transition, and Fair keeps this one herself, goes right through the defender and draws the call. Another double-digit performance already for Dyaisha Fair, pacing the Orange in this first half.
And she completes the 3-point play up to 11 points. Syracuse's leading scorer. Orange press wreaking havoc. Coach Jack's fired up as the Cuse turns the Great Danes over. Can SU take advantage? Fair, floater. No. Rebound. Timeout, UAlbany. Both teams need to figure out a way to hold on to the basketball. UAlbany, I mentioned there, 20 turnovers against Ohio State, already 7 here in the first half. Not a recipe for success if they want to beat a Power 5 program. And they turn it over again. Elena Rice into the passing lane. Now 8 Great Danes turnovers. Dyaisha Hyman trying to take advantage, and she does. We're tied at 26.
Syracuse press is wreaking havoc on UAlbany as they turn that into another points off turnovers as Dyaisha Hyman getting the jumper there. And the Orange have evened things up.
This Syracuse pace is really forcing UAlbany to play at a pace it does not want to play at. Great Danes finally get into their half-court set. Haney for 3. She's got it. Hyman tries to throw it off the back of the defender. Can't get it, she falls. Woolley picks up the loose change, but can't hit the 3. Hyman, though, skies for the rebound, goes right back to the basket, and hits the runner.
Dyaisha Hyman all over the court right now for Syracuse, getting another finish there. And Hyman is getting this crowd going yet again.
Fatima Lee picked up the basketball, walked onto the court of play, and then tried to inbound it. A turnover on UAlbany as the sloppiness of the Great Danes continue. And now the Orange with a chance to take the lead again.
Just the type of mental mistake the Great Danes were trying to avoid, and Syracuse has them a bit rattled right now.
Hyman, the leading scorer for the Orange last season.
Hyman only had single-digit points in each of the previous 2 games. She's on pace to break that short streak. Surprised to see Coach Shack go away from the press as it was so successful for Syracuse in this second quarter.
See if UAlbany can get something set up in the half court. Heaps for 3. Oh, where was that from?
Grace Heaps, the leader and spiritual captain and captain for UAlbany, liked that look and got it.
Asia Strong trying to go right back to the basket, but her layup's too long.
And now the Great Danes slow it down a bit, as for a while there they were playing at Syracuse speed, and Coach Mullen wants them to play at UAlbany speed.
Heaps thought about the triple again, instead skip pass down low in traffic. Heigerstrand finishes.
Pretty assist from Heaps. 2 good offensive possessions from there, and Heigerstrand finishes it.
Dyaisha Hyman at a blistering pace gets the 14-footer to drop. Back and forth we go. Great Danes up. Trying to hold for last shot here in the second. Heaps in front of the Syracuse bench. Loses control, 4 to shoot. Hounded by 2 Syracuse defenders. Heaps needs to shoot. Doesn't get it off, and it's a shot clock violation.
Just try and touch it, and Hyman takes the long one, but UAlbany still leads.
Great Danes have a 2-point lead, attacking the basket to our right in their purple uniforms.
Syracuse right back into their player-to-player coming out of the half. This is the way they started the game before they went into a press.
3-point up, 3-point in. UAlbany picks up right where it left off. Heigerstrand knocks it down from the top of the key.
Hillian Heigerstrand has scored in many different ways. She is their best shooter, very effective from beyond the arc.
Dariauna Lewis to the basket, left it short, gets her own rebound, can't hit again, fights, and her third opportunity's no good. This time Asia Strong's on the glass to clean up the mess. Gets it back, goes to the basket, drops it off to Cortez, who loses the handle.
They're going to switch it up with a number of different players, but one thing they will do is double Dyaisha Fair, and she finds the open shooter.
Rice wide open in the corner, can't hit, but that's what teammates are for. Dariauna Lewis, and just like that, the rebounding battle tied back up again. Heigerstrand feeling it. This one rims out.
Not a bad look for Heigerstrand right from the top of the arc. She hit one from there earlier.
Fair, high arcing shot and in. Oh boy, was that a tough take by Dyaisha.
Pretty finish there, high off the window, and Fair picking up right where she left off in the first half, scoring in the paint. That's where the majority of her buckets have come so far.
Hyman to the passing lane, 2-on-1 with Rice. Lost the handle. Now a tough fall away. Rice with the offensive board. Fair, knifing into the paint, extra pass, Strong, 4-2. Timeout, UAlbany. Kayla Cooper, an all-defensive team selection in the America East last season, forces the turnover. Can UAlbany turn it into points? Cooper gets it back down low, spins around and finishes. Lewis intercepts the pass intended for Fair.
The Great Danes look more calm coming out of that timeout and forcing Syracuse to be a bit more methodical here after that run.
Tigerstron spin around, tough take, no, but free throws to come.
Not a spot where you want to get called for a foul, and now she's a pretty solid free throw shooter.
Member of the U20 Swedish national team, and a leading scorer for the Great Danes. Hyman and Fair, the backcourt tandem, play a two-woman game. Fair steps back and connects. Good luck guarding Dyaisha Fair when she's knocking down that shot.
Very difficult, even though she's 5'5", she creates the space there with the lateral movement and hits the step back.
Phillips turns it over. Fair in the passing lane. Turbo boost to the basket. 4-2.
The Great Danes hanging around. They've still been effective offensively when they don't turn it over.
And you said it, UAlbany hanging around a 2-point game. And then they create the turnover.
Strong was cutting to the basket there, but Tigerstron read it the entire way and grabs the steal.
Heaps trapped in the corner, finds Cooper. Back to Heaps for three, and UAlbany's back on top.
Swinging it around and passing up an open shot for a more open shot.
Fair, as Dyaisha Fair is at the line for Syracuse, trying to try this game right back up. It's been a seesaw battle as Fair knocks in her first free throw. Great Danes had steadied the ship, took the lead, and now Fair keeps it a tie game. Lee trying to feed it down low, and Lewis is in her way. Dariauna pushing the pace. Fair, runner, off balance, no, Strong, rebound, and finish. Different atmosphere here inside the dome, and when the Orange faithful get loud, they get loud here on school day. Tigerstrand trying to quiet him down, and she does. McEvans straight to the basket, finds Lewis, who finishes right hand, left side. UAlbany has had a counterpunch for every Syracuse punch in this contest. Tigerstrand down low, and they punch back again.
Right on cue, Helian Tigerstrand brings them even.
And then she contests the Dyaisha Fair layup. Annie will pull up, and Woolley grabs the rebound this time for Syracuse. Dyaisha Fair working 1-on-3. Kayla Cooper back into the game for UAlbany. Grains going with a big lineup. Point guard Lily Phillips sits down. Fair thought about the triple. Now she steps back and cans the three.
Dyaisha Fair, the jab step, the step back.
Haney will try to. Left it short, and Fair grabs the board.
A long one, and Haney didn't quite step into it. Now Syracuse has a chance to make it a two-possession game.
Asia Strong will try her luck from deep and knock it down. Tigerstrand thought about it. Haney from inside the three-point line. No, Lewis on the glass. Orange can hold for last shot if they want to. Got a feeling they don't. Fair, Strong to the free throw line. And as a reserve, has upped her scoring. Drills her first free throw. 10 points today. Now 11.
Really matter who starts the game. It's about who finishes it, and you can expect that Asia Strong will be a part of finishing this one in the fourth quarter, just as she was Sunday against Wake Forest.
Cooper trying to get something positive going for UAlbany into the third quarter break, and she does.
Moving to her left here, and then gathering and finishing with the right hand, getting a friendly roll, and now a chance to complete a three-point play.
And she finishes. Just when you think UAlbany's going away, not so fast. Does Hyman have a burst at the buzzer? Strong from way downtown. Her sixth 20-point game of the season, had 25 20-point games in 34 contests last season at Buffalo. Starts the fourth quarter on the bench when Syracuse up by 5.
She played 29 of the first 30 minutes, so a much-needed rest here, and we expect she'll come back in and play the rest. As Asia Strong, you mentioned, she has lost a bit of explosiveness with a knee injury, but she's done a fine job tonight on the glass.
It's another offensive board. And another.
With UAlbany, who has been trying to win the possession battle all morning, and they earn an extra 20-second shot clock.
Cooper gets rewarded with the open look.
This is key for Syracuse. How can you run the offense without Dyaisha Fair on the floor?
5 seconds to shoot. Hyman loses the handle. 2 to shoot. Off balance at the horn. She banks it in.
Hyman making something out of nothing.
Haney, 8 to shoot. Drives baseline underneath the basket, through the contact and in. Here comes Fair with tempo. Picks up the double team, shoots anyway, no good. Strong on the glass with the left hand finish. Under 10 to shoot again for UAlbany. Heaps trying to get into the corner, but there's Georgia Woolley to pick it up. Fair ahead of the pack. Crossover dribble, floater, high off the glass and in.
Seen her with this teardrop high off the glass, and the touch of that shot. What a difficult shot. Can't emphasize that enough. Now she has a chance to get another three-point play for Syracuse.
A big smile, because why not? Dyaisha Fair, appointment television. And she completes the three-point play. Syracuse have double digits for the first time today.
And trying to pull away here. There's another steal for the Orange.
4-on-1. Lewis, Euro step, and in. How about the moves by the big?
She gets the bench fired up. How about that from Lewis, the point center, going coast to coast.
This place is a madhouse, and the Danes turn it over again.
Dariauna Lewis could have dumped it off, but she goes with the Euro and finishes with the right hand on the other side.
Lewis back to the basket this time, runs into a crowd, but there is Georgia Woolley out of nowhere.
The Dyaisha Fair show for Syracuse all season, but especially in this morning matinee.
UAlbany off the timeout looking for answers, and that's a start.
She gets them going. They still have 5 minutes, plenty of time, but this is a tough margin, and Syracuse is hot.
Asia Strong's been on fire from long distance. Up by 15 against a Great Dane squad that only averages 55 points per game. Strong, heat check. Left it short, but Fair's on the glass for 2. The shortest player in the court cleaning it up. Tigerstron, really tough take and a friendly roll.
UAlbany needed that one, but what they really need is a stop, as those have been hard to come by for them in this fourth quarter.
Not going to stop Tisha Hyman when she's stroking it like that.
Syracuse still just as active defensively as they were early in the game.
Phillips for 3. Still scoreless, but Tigerstron's on the rebound for a pair. Woolley, open look, for 3. Freya Vert with the basketball, 10 points in the first half, none in the second. And the Great Danes turn it over. Fair, up ahead to Woolley, right hand, left side for a bucket. Trying to close out the non-con with a perfect home record. Vert in the corner. Still scoreless in the second half. Hyman loses the handle, but it goes right to Wilson, who's on the block. Wilson coming off a career-high 13 points. And she can't. 0 for 2 at the line. To the team, the player that has the most hustle plays. It was given out to Cheyenne McEvans. Dives on the floor for forced turnovers. Puts Syracuse up by 3 touchdowns. Cooper in the paint. Rattles it in. Kayla Cooper, one of the silver linings for UAlbany today.
Just her 3rd game of the season. They're leading rebounder last year. We mentioned the most outstanding player of the America East tournament, and they are going to need her as they go into conference play.
Nick Evans with a smooth 17-footer. Lee loses it in the paint. Nia Wilson into the game. Ahead of the pack, Anna Irving. Instead, that's Elena Rice with the lefty layup. So it's the end of non-conference play for both sides.
Syracuse putting an exclamation point on the end of non-conference play here as they'll go into a matchup with Louisville on the 29th with some momentum.
Orange going into ACC play 10-2. The reigning champs of the America East going into conference play at 6-8 are the UAlbany Great Danes. UAlbany kept it really tight for 3 quarters, but at the end of the day, here on school day from inside the dome, the Orange Shooters won out in a 23-point Syracuse win.